Hello, 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 my beauties. It's Viv here. How are you? Welcome to my Sunday Live. I'm recording this January 5th. And oh, wow, I just realized 5 is my favorite number. I don't know if it's my lucky number, but it's my favorite number. So it's a good day. It's a lucky day when numerologically, when 5 is like the 14th or the 5th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me close some things really quick. You guys know I'm using StreamYard to stream to you, and I've opened something. Here we go. Now I can see comments. Hello, 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 my beauties. Happy New Year. Picture emojis going off, fireworks behind me, picture all of that in your mind. Welcome. Say hello. I'm going to make you guys a little bit bigger. Now, I always used to say, say hello. And then another YouTuber I follow is like, it's polite. It's like you're coming in the house. You wouldn't just walk in. Of course, some people would just walk in, not say anything, go to your room, unless you were a teenager. So how are you? Greetings, greetings, greetings. So today, what did I title this? Okay. This is a not planning 2025 video. Okay. So we're going to talk about Yeah, good. I see the numbers going up. Welcome if you're coming from my email list. Welcome if YouTube just served my video to you. So yeah, my name is Viv if you're brand new here, and my channel is primarily for women who are sensitive, high vibration, and maybe suffer from anxiety, depression, stress. Let's just say stress, and who want spiritual and holistic lifestyle balancing tips, right? So, and more than tips, tips sounds like that, lifestyle and all of that. So yeah, where are you from? If you're an oldster, say hi. If you're a newster, say hi. Okay? This way I'm not just sitting in my apartment in the afternoon talking to myself. All right. So, not planning 2025. Honestly, so many videos because not only, am I on YouTube, but I like watching YouTube videos that are helpful or fun or entertaining, whatever. And there's so many planning 2025 videos right now, like overwhelmingly so, honestly. So that's my first thing is like, don't get overwhelmed if you like YouTube, which you probably do, or you wouldn't be watching me, right? And though, you may like just a few folks on YouTube, you may not be a regular watcher, but don't get overwhelmed by this like planning 2025. So let me know in the comments because I want to know that you're alive and I'm not being watched by zombies. Okay. Have you done any planning? Put it in the comments. Have you done any planning for this new year? And I'm going to pause and breathe. So, yes, my background is in yoga, mindfulness meditation. I was an art professor and now reclaiming my artistic side. I'll talk more about that. But let me know in the comments, have you done any planning for the year? Okay. And I'm just going to wait because I am talking to you. If you're watching this, I'm asking you. You might be like, who's she talking to? I'm talking to you if you're watching this, unless you're driving. Very often when I insist, people like comment, somebody's like, I'm driving, Viv. I'm like, all right, fine. Stick around. I'm having some tea. Okay, here comes my first comment. I'm having tea, which is a fresh ginger and anise. I put the anise like little bits right in with some slices of ginger. It's delicious, and actually it's already getting a little cold. I wish Yeah, no, it's warm. I'm a hot tea. I like my tea hot, where I have to be like, oh my God. Okay, so let me see the comments. Welcome. Happy 2025. So glass half full says, yes, you have. Okay, tell us more about it. And I'm going to talk about it. I'll get started, but I want to know. I want this to be interactive. It's so much more fun for me. So glass half full. Welcome, glass half full. And Enchanted Star. Grand Horizons. I don't plan for anything. I'm just going with what is planned. My fiance. Planned by your fiance. Okay. So that's interesting. You're just whatever the fiance plans. All right. I may want to know more about this. Is plan my fiance and guidance. Okay. Analog girl. Hello, analog girl. Hello, and happy new year to you too. All right, all the comments are coming in now. Welcome, welcome. Some of you may be on my email list, which I just send out once a week, and sometimes I forget. I do not write you 4 times a week like some people, okay? I do write once a week. That is my aim. Often I share what I'm doing, what I'm teaching, okay? So some of you are probably from my list because I wrote them in advance and said, hey, come live. All right. I might pull some cards. Let's talk about it. But I want to greet everybody here. No, guidance. I don't have a fiance. Okay. Let me planned by. Okay. See, type more slowly, Enchanted. Okay. No, guidance. You're following your guidance. Okay. All right. I hear you because I'm like, wow, it sounds like you're giving away a lot of your power. Yeah, that was my first thought. All right. I'm going to mix up a bunch of things. So, really, get some tea, get some wine, get whatever. First, let's just pause for a moment. I just want to express gratitude. This is completely unplanned. Just gratitude. Take a breath. And if you can, close your eyes and just gratitude that you are here. And I'm just tuning into your energy, which again, I've over the years discovered I have the capacity to certainly do energy work. I feel like someone is going through a lot of heartbreak or something with the heart. I have to be careful because I can be too open and literally end up feeling people's illnesses. That's that's the empathic. It's like for physical things. And that is actually one of the main reasons I don't do body work and massage anymore, like on people. You'll hear me talk about it and teach you points and stuff like that. But I found I just was so drained. My clients would walk out like floating and happy and, when they want to talk to me and hang out, and I'd be like exhausted. So it can be hard for me to boundary sometimes. So yeah, okay, it's okay. I know the auto. Okay, I got you. So yeah, I wrote, it's a not planning video for 2025. That's not completely true, but I want to talk about it from the divine feminine perspective. I really don't have a lot of notes. I'm not even one of those notes people. So what I mean is, okay, and I want you to just drop in and really just take this in, take what works for you, let go of what doesn't. If you're a tuned in woman, you're a tuned in person, you know what you want. So I'm talking to those of you who are not completely like confused. So for me, I know I've had long-term desires that I want to fulfill. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not the type of person, it may be ADD, all right? I am a creative. When I was growing up, we didn't have these labels. I keep saying that, but it's a huge difference. You were just given some like bad word, it wasn't like neurotypical or I'm neurodivergent. We didn't have that. Okay? You were just weird. Here, I'm serious. Tell me, give me a yes if that was, when you were growing up. There weren't labels and, oh, we understand you. That's okay. Just play peacefully in the corner. Okay, we didn't have that. So I get bored and overwhelmed and I waste time with too much planning. And honestly, it's just hard for me. So I have a board in front of me because I did write things down. I'm going to share with you if you want to try my method. But basically, what I'm doing at the start of this year is going with my intuition. So I think I announced it in the last video. I am going to be traveling, very, very soon. I'm going to be traveling again. Just got back from Italy, still have so much footage, and it's crazy. When you film when you're traveling, you just end up with you're like, who's going to watch this? Okay. And spirit, the messages go, just go. Right. And you guys know I'm trying to figure out how to do it. It's, all these travel YouTubers and all I expatted, they may have different means, They may have different citizenship. So there's a lot to it. And sometimes I feel like they don't, you may be watching them if you're like me and just maybe you just want to travel or leave America. Most of my audience is American, though not all. I actually have a large audience from India too, because of some of the chakra stuff I talk about. Um, but Spirit is telling me go. And I did mention this before. In my family, we have my father was sort of the negative example of that. He up one day and just left the family. But I've been told by others, and if I really look at my life honestly, have a gypsy energy. So let me know, are you resonating with this? Because that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit, is how I'm just listening to my intuition. That's the first thing. And it's like I said, it said go. So I bought a ticket. It's a non-refundable ticket. I do not know yet who's taking my apartment. Those of you who saw my last video, you might have heard this already. I have 2 people who are interested in Percival, just to foster him, to foster Percival, my cat, who, hang on. Oh yeah, he's right. Wait, guys, there. Can you see? He's right there. That's him. And he's like, I'm independent, but he's never really far from me, you know? So I let him believe that our relationship is, you know, that he's just single or whatever, but it's not really true. All right. Things were, yes, they were different. Thank you. They really, truly were. Everybody wasn't just happy for you to be you and, oh, you're so special. No, no. Okay. Even being, I am naturally left-handed, guys. In Jamaica, where I'm from, in the islands, I think they used to tie your hand down. Now, I'm not that old that I go back to that era, but I was forced to switch hands. But yeah, I'm naturally left-handed, which is, I think, more common with people who are creative. Like it's the way the brain works, okay? But they're like, no, that hand is evil. They don't even talk about it. I don't know. You're just not supposed to use that hand. Okay. So yeah, there was no acceptance of whatever you are, and you're lovely. So let's see. Glass half full says continuing forward with previous ongoing plans that take time. Yep. Oh, beautiful. Mexico residency. Wow, that's a lot. Wow. You're doing a lot, glass half full. So yes, you guys know my ultimate destination. And again, I'm staying fluid, but my spirit is called to Italy. Now, how I get there, I just feel like I need peace most of all. So all my notes are, I'm traveling, and I want to be really clear about this. Okay, global warming is happening. Weather catastrophe is happening. It's for real. Our travel contributes hugely to that. Okay, we go up into the air and we spew out stuff that was not meant to be there, right, for our convenience. So I'm not about travel for like, oh wow, look at that great building, or let me take an Instagram photo. I am against that. I think it's dumb at this point. I really do. I think it's short-sighted. I'm traveling as much as I can to get to some place where I can settle. Okay? That's what I'm doing. That's for me. Because I think the planet needs it. I know everybody says, oh, if I change my behavior, it's not going to save anything. And so no, people don't change. Do you see that? I know there's a name for that concept. We're like, oh, I'm one person, so what I do won't have an effect. So each one person doesn't change. In my case, I can see the climate is changing in ways, in years, in like 6 years. Where I live, you guys, there used to be snow, 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 snow. I had no car when I first got here. There'd be snow banks. I'd be like climbing over snow banks. Now there's not. Yes, I know weather goes up and down, but I'm going to side with the scientists on this, with my own, what I'm seeing, and with scientists, okay? And you see it all around the world, the flooding, hurricanes, you can see it, right? Even people who are conservative, who are like farmers, they're like, yeah, I gotta admit, the weather's not like it was when I was growing the peanuts back in the day, or the grapes, or not the grapes, but the peaches or whatever, right? So all I'm saying is, for me, I cannot really enjoy travel just for travel's sake. I want to travel, and I urge you to consider travel to a place that you can make a home. Okay? Give me a yes, or tell me what you think about that. It's about finding home on the planet. Okay? And yes, maybe you have to move, right? Obviously, if you're in Bangladesh and there's flooding, or you're a refugee, people are shooting at you, that's very different. That's different than booking a trip here, and then I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go there. Anyway, okay, let me know what you think about that. Again, that's just my opinion, okay? And my just, yeah, okay, coming from a spiritual place. So I am planning first to go to Great Britain, and I found out I should not say too much. There's some things I need to kind of not tell you guys about, okay? Unless you're join my email newsletter, which I will put below. But it's a real reason that I can't say exactly some of the things I'd want to share with you. But I'm going to the UK first, and I can't. I can't. It just turns out to be a good place at this point for me to go. Some of you who really watch my channel, you may have noticed I took down a previous video. And I take videos down sometimes, but there's a reason for that. But so I'm starting in the UK, still with the intention of working towards the bigger goal, which is a home where I feel more safe, given the sort of the climate. There's the climate, and then there's the climate, the political and sociological climate in the US. So it's sad for me, but my mother before me, so I am an immigrant. My mother before me came here on her own, less than high school education, came here, made a life for her family, worked, all of that. She was never on public assistance. Not that there should be a shame to that, because you can hit a point where you need it. And I think a country should have that. I am not one of these rabid people who's going to complain about my taxes. No, I think all societies, to be truly humane, they have to have a safety net, right? And you can't put holes in the net where people just fall through and smash and die. No, we should have a safety net. That is what makes us human beings. So my mother came here, and I know it must have been scary for her. So you guys, that's what I'm telling myself. Like, if mom could do it, you can do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause there. Now, she didn't talk about it much. That's the thing. Also, sometimes our mothers, there's a lot going on about menopause now. Women are like, what? I have this. I don't want to reveal too much, but I was like, nobody really talked about this. Perimenopause and menopause. Now, Halle Berry's out there. Everybody's like, blah, blah, blah. Everybody. They didn't tell us about menopause. Guys, I tried to teach a program about menopause about 2 years ago. Not a single one of you signed up. Girlfriend of mine said, people don't like the word menopause. She's like, people don't like the word menopause. I'm like, well, if I'm going to teach how to be healthy during menopause, how can I can't say the word menopause. What am I going to say? All right. Let me know you're with me. Okay. So I've covered a lot. You know a little bit about why I want to go abroad. As a girlfriend of mine who, how friends are, they don't want you to change. She's like, well, I think it's important to know what you're going towards, not what you're running away from. I'm like, girl, just flip the opposite of what I'm running away from. School shootings, okay? Children being shot by people who previously had mental illness issues, told their parents they were going to do it, threatened other kids, still got a gun, and still went in and killed other people. All right, that's not anything to do with needing a firearm for hunting or even for protection, right? We can't even get laws like that on the books. There was one shooting in Montenegro, I believe, which is a country many people are touting. It's a fairly low cost country, blah, blah. There was a mass shooting there. And I was like, oh, good Lord. And they're talking about, guess what? Guess what, guys? Oh, wow. Maybe we need to change some laws. Now, there are many of these countries that gun ownership is high, but people are still not, they are hunting or whatever. I don't know, but they're not shooting other people randomly. And so countries make laws about how to safely use a firearm. Why do you need one? And so on. So I am looking for, as best I can, right, in a changing world, a place I feel safe, feel happy, weather is good. Now the UK is not, of course, winning on many of those fronts, but so let me know, what do you think about this? But glass half full, it sounds like you're doing so much. You're my last comment, so I just want to honor you. Yeah, it's a lot. And guys, also, I really want to make clear this isn't about, who's coming in as the president in 100%. It's not. But I believe in signs. I have a video, maybe I'll put the link below. All of our ancestors, no matter what your race or ethnicity, lived much closer to the land. If you're Irish, back in the 1700s, your people they were pagan. Catholicism might have been coming in, but they understood, okay, this is a sign this is going to happen. Yes, there were crazy superstitions, absolutely, but they were more watchful and more careful. And all people have always moved around for food and for resources. This is not new, right? Here I'm talking about immigration, right? The land that most of us are in, that you're watching me, right? We're in the United States. People were either brought here, enslaved, or they immigrated here, right? Many of the people, the majority of the people who were here were decimated. So immigration, immigration, yes, that's a real thing. People move for resources. That is how humans have survived. If there's no food here, I'm going to have to go somewhere else. Pray to God I make it to this other place where I can find some food, some berries, I could start farming or whatever. Okay? So I'm just saying, I think it's just how history has been, right? As humans. And I just think we need to look at each other first as humans, because that's what we are, before we look at what we think separates us. So again, I'm traveling to ultimately find a home for rest and renewal, not to sightsee. Okay. That's what I just wrote, rest and renewal. So hopefully when I'm in the UK, I will be able to get some rest. I'll still be, I'll be in different places. So definitely be able to make videos for you, and probably from some very pretty places, prettier than my humble abode in my kitchen that you're looking back at the counter back there. And Percival there. So let me put some comments up. So I'm going to talk about what I did do in the planning. But again, the first point is I'm going with my intuition and my strong. So I urge you, listen to what is that urge inside of you, that still small voice telling you that you need. So I didn't have to do exercises to figure it out, is what I'm saying. You're intuitive. That is the divine feminine side. The feminine, the masculine, we all have it. The masculine comes in, it's the planning, it's the structuring, it's the step by step. But the other side, the more intuitive brain, is denigrated, is looked down upon in our society, which it was not in more primitive societies. Okay. I was just watching someone talk about much of the world, the people go in and out of brain states, you guys, that we don't even access. You and me, we're just like on the coffee and we're like, okay, I got to do this. Yeah, I got to go. We don't drop into these other more subtle brain states where we are intuitive, where we can hear. And I know some of you do, or you wouldn't be watching me. You can hear the wisdom of your ancestors, or call it your subconscious, call it your higher self, call it God. All of those, right? So I'm just saying, listen to that first in terms of planning your 2025, connect to a higher place, and then go from there. So that's the first thing I just want to share with you guys. So yes, thank you. It is a mental illness. It's funny you say that, analog girl, because I literally was in the bathroom, like brushing my teeth, and I got the phrase, because I was thinking about my artwork, which is getting a little more political. And I got the thing, I pictured myself saying to somebody, racism is a mental illness. And then the next phrase was, you really should get that looked at. Get that looked at, because that's an illness that you've got, right? So a lot of cultures do have it, though. They just have it in different forms. But truly, America has systematized and institutionalized racially based hatred to a very specific degree, and then exercised it so that it's become locked in. Stephanie Perry, like, I just really want to give her credit, because she said things that I was afraid to say, because I didn't know how the Black folks in my audience, again, because I have an audience, I believe maybe 70% African American, maybe less. I don't know. But I was afraid that The Black people in my audience would jump on me. By that meaning, she said something recently in her video, and she said it before. It's like being Black in the U.S. comes with a box. It has an edge. This is what Black people do. This is how they act. This is how they speak. This is how they live. This is how they think. These are their opportunities, to our incoming president, Black jobs, right? And there were Black jobs. Growing up, I didn't ever, to my knowledge, meet a Black engineer, for example, just to give you a concrete example of what I'm saying. I grew up in a poor neighborhood. And so, yes, as we integrated, right, that split happened where poorer Blacks stayed one place, right? And then the middle and upper class moved. I know I'm mixing a lot of things, but I'm just saying, yeah. So there are countries where, for instance, this country may hate maybe Asian, but they don't like this other type of Asian. That's absolutely, I've seen it. I have friends who tell me all the different hatreds. So most countries have some form of discrimination and hatred. And that is why I'm able to see it as a spiritual person. I'm not just locked into like the racism in America and how, of course, that influenced the world, and British imperialism, but other countries have it, they have their version. India, pre-colonialism, right? India has a caste system that is very, very tight, seems to be tied into color. Now it's changing somewhat, but it was a caste system that still ended up with the brown people towards the bottom. And so different countries have it. And so I think that means it's a human issue. It's a human problem. Just saying. So I know there's no country that's perfect. But again, back to what I was saying with Stephanie Perry, what I wouldn't voice on my channel was that I feel part of my discomfort in the US is feeling like, and especially I think if you're more working class economically, you're supposed to be a certain way, right? And different folks do that to us, even maybe within the community. The Black community might also do that. It enforces that, but then also from outside. So meaning, yeah, I don't think growing up I ever saw a Black professor until I became one, right? So that's when people say representation matters. If poor Black and brown kids don't really see these options, it's very hard to envision yourself. And if your family, like I said, my mom didn't graduate high school, neither did my dad. My dad, I think, had less education than my mother. They understood that education was important, but I had to like figure things out on my own, So anyway, just giving you some background. But yeah, it's a mental illness. And as Stephanie also says, anti-Blackness is worldwide, and it's a very complex subject. It is tied in directly to economics, and it's very hard for some people to look at that and look at the long-term effect of economics, of colonialism, and all of that. So I don't know. I'm just speaking on this. A good friend of mine from back in the day, she's like, literally like, girl, what are you saying? That was like poetry. And I'm like, what? She's like, you just went on for like 3 minutes, like flowing. And I'm like, oh. And I was like, and afterwards I was like, was that a compliment? She goes, no, it was. It was like you were, she's like, were you reading something? I was like, no, I was just speaking. But anyway, she's very, very sweet. But I am kind of trying to link things together. So Glass Half Full says, I prioritize environmentally conscious travel and plan to embrace. Yeah, even just that, guys, even just slow the travel down. What is this manic rush with, I did 10 countries in 20 days. What, is there a prize? There's a prize on TikTok for that? Like, what is that? What is that about? Because I watch people who do that kind of travel. They don't know crap about the country they went through, and they didn't even necessarily enjoy it. They just did it so they could go like this. Oh, I checked off the box. I was in Croatia, and then I was in Poland, and then I went to Paris. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. I'm on a rampage today. Just let's slow ourselves down. Again, not most of you, but think about it. If this is you, slow yourself down. Savor a place, meet the people, talk to the people, experience the neighborhood, just be human instead of this ugly tourist passing through, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, really. As humans, we take ourselves everywhere we go. Absolutely. Absolutely. The same friend of mine who was a fantastic artist, we were talking about, she was somewhere, it might have been Italy, and we were talking about racism. And the two of us, again, just being artists, were like, yeah. She's like, I thought it was racism, but then, because what it was, she did something and the person seemed cold to her. They put the food down and they just left. Then either she greeted them or she said some, oh no, this is what I think she said. I then said to them, that was delicious. And she said they were like, oh. Then they started talking. Oh, did you like it? Where are you from? What she needed to do, right, as a Black woman was, it was more of a cultural disconnect. And she's like, Viv, because she's like, I thought these people might be racist, because she's like, we're Black, we don't know. We don't know, right? And again, this is educating the folks who are not Black who are watching this. Or I know this also happens to Asians. You know, this happens to other ethnicities, right? You're in a place and you're like, are they treating me kind of you know, and she's like, the minute I told her the food was delicious and I was like, that was like the best, the whole mood attitude changed. So again, just talking about bring your humanity. There are always assholes in every single nation, including the nation you are from. If you're Indian watching this, you know that there are Indian people who are truly horrible. If you're Chinese, you know there's some Chinese people, because you're in the community, you know. Same thing. Let's just take our humanity. As I like to assume the best, of course, unless my little spidey sense, if I get a sense of danger, I'm out of there, right? That's different. Women, especially I'm talking to you right now, always trust that spidey sense. Okay? Don't smile and go along with something if you get a negative feeling. Okay, that's your protection. So this is what I did. I'll share with you guys what I did. I'm not going to show you the board because it's like chicken scratch. So hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to show it to you, but so this is all I did. I came up with 3 goals. Okay. So my not planning for 2025, and this was before when I wasn't aware that I'm not planning. I just did it. Okay. I did it like really quickly. And then I'm like, I can't do that anymore. It's so hard. Planning is so hard. So I put 3 goals. One of them is to live in this particular place, somewhere in Italy, I wrote down, or better. Okay. So if you want to try this, 3 goals. Everybody says more than 3 goals. It's just too much. So then I put a weekly income goal. And I put to also to be able to work from anywhere or my special place. Either, you know, again, I'm leaving it to spirit. Also, like co-create with me. Obviously we're co-creating with spirit is how I should put it, right? So ideally work from anywhere, or you know what might be better. Okay, that's my second goal of the 3 goals. And then a art career, because suddenly I'm on fire with art. It has to be astrological. It has to be something with time of life, with my age. Something has clicked back on, and I want to show you guys a card I got. I encourage you to come for a reading. I got a card that I kept getting, and it was true. It is true. And it was about something restarting that had basically died, and that's the art stuff. I am like on fire with working creatively on my creative life. So those are my 3 goals: to live in a specific place, a weekly income goal, monthly, whatever, and working on my art career. All right. So then I wrote, if you want to just jot this down, if you want to try this, I wrote, what do I want to feel? I know, this just came to me. I don't think I copied this from anybody. I think I made this up. Feelings I want to have. And I'll share with you what I wrote. I wrote calm, grounded, creative, feeling of being in loving community, intuitive, and prosperous. Those were the feelings I want to have. Okay. Then I made another list of what I need in order to have those feelings and to meet my goals. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? And I'll check for your comments. So I put the 3 goals. Again, intuitively, I know what I wanted. I didn't have to do some long process. I just wrote that down. Then the feelings I want to have in my day-to-day, then what I need. So what I wrote that I need in order to achieve the goals are, I need clarity, I need focus, same thing. I need commitment, I need optimism, and I need belief. When I have manifested magically in the past, and some of you know I've shared some of the stories, even my recent trip to Italy, some manifestation that was really magical. Belief is one of the key things you need when you're trying to achieve. You have to believe you can do it. The people who don't believe they can do it can't do it because they don't believe they can. You have, some part of you has to really believe it's possible. And then I wrote habits. Okay, so I had feelings, made a list of feelings I want to have, need, what I need to develop in order to try to manifest this, and then habits. And I wrote for the habits on this list yoga, meditation, because I notice when I do yoga, my digestion, my elimination is better. When I meditate, my mind is clear. I'm able to focus. I'm able to stay calm despite other people freaking out. And I have people kind of freaking out around me. Less media, quiet. Like I like not having media on or even music on sometimes, nature and healthy food. So that's what I wrote. That's kind of my more intentions. And so, yes, I did put 3 goals. So share to make it interactive. I'd love to know, like, what are your goals or any comments or questions about what I just shared. So 3 goals. And I'm going for a sprint. I also strongly believe this. And I also watch Ali Abdal. He's really wonderful. He's got like millions of subscribers, and he has a video on planning 2025 you might want to watch. But I'm going to do the sprint. So it's January, February, March, right? Like we can do almost anything for 3 months. Like I was studying Italian when I first started. I studied, I think, 2 hours a day. I studied an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. Now it's hard to keep stuff like that up. So it's like a sprint, right? So you might want to break your goals into 3-month chunks of, I'm going to do this. And then more than the goal is the process, you guys. And I can't believe I got to this age and only literally with YouTube telling me that, because I'd write goals in the past and sometimes I'd achieve them, but I rarely wrote what I was going to do. The habit that was going to bring the goal. For instance, if your goal is to run a marathon, obviously you then need to be like, okay, I'm going to run a half a mile. And then I'm going to up it after about a month and I'm okay. I have no injuries. I'm going to up it. And then eventually you're running a half marathon, right? I never did that plan part. So that's something key. I mean, maybe it's obvious to you guys, but I would just write the goal and then be like, oh, like I knew I had to take action, but I wouldn't write out the actions. Okay. So just letting you know, I'm being really honest with you. Hi, beautiful love. I like that picture of you. You're smiling. Your energy is very bright. I hope things are better and going really well for you and your family. Yeah, so Glass Half Full says work exchanges or taking courses can really help to slow down. Beautiful. And Glass Half Full, thank you for saying that, because that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. I had my Italian tutor, which sounds fancier than it is. Okay. She's like $12 an hour. Okay. Like really, she's really inexpensive. Wonderful girl. She kept the price for me and her older students low and she increased it, but she's a wonderful Italian tutor. If anybody needs one, tell me, I'll put a link. And she's on italki. And I had her investigate for me in Italian because I couldn't read these documents, you guys. I mean, it's really like high level Italian. It's not just, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'd like a cornetto and a coffee. No, it was, like, what are the qualifications? So I have her researching for me. And I also spoke in terms of taking action on my goals. And again, I want to know what you guys are doing. I did speak free to an Italian lawyer. And for any of you wanting to do anything like this, often these firms will give you a free consult. Okay, look for one that gives you a free consult. And this girl was very nice. She was probably in her 30s. I think she was in Milan. And I ran her through every way I could get to Italy. She's like, yeah, I think you got to be a student. I think that's really going to be the easiest for you. So yeah. And I'm laughing because it's like, when I think student, of course, you think 18, 19, 20, 25. No. Many countries, you can't really go and study. They want you to go and study, whether it's France for cooking, pastry baking, Okay, so you can get into the country. All right, get your big toe into the country. I want to learn how to make bread. So thank you. That's a beautiful way. Yeah. And the work exchanges too. Yeah. We got to think out of the box, especially if we are income challenged at this point, or you don't want to touch your savings or your retirement. So beautiful. Really good tip. Really, really good tip. You're sitting right. Oh, well, good. Good, Gianni. I'm probably saying it wrong. Quarter one. Exactly. Quarter one. I All I'm saying is drop into your feminine side as well. I think all the goal people I have seen, so what I'm trying to say to wrap this point up is they go very linear, very like, okay, then do this. When you've done that, then you do this. And I think, like I said, this spontaneously came to me, what I shared with you. If you're just joining, you can go back, what I shared about how I just quickly put down what resonated for me. And Ali Abdal shared, this is from him, his statistic, you're 42% more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down. And I like, my goal is like, live in such and such, make this income, art career, get into this and this and this, right? So I did write it down. That is absolutely fact. When I write things down, it is like magic, like write it down. Okay. So do that. Do that. I'm just saying, bring in your intuitive, feminine, right brain, open. There may be something bigger for you than you're thinking. You may be like, oh, yeah, I want to earn 6,000 a month. I'm going to get this. Spirit may have something even better for you in mind. Okay. So just be open is really the thrust of what I'm saying. Be open to hearing what truly might be there for you. So Beautiful Love says, when eating healthy and working out, starting my business, relocation, that's a lot. Pick 3. Beautiful Love. It's hard, for the year, and then break it down. So with the healthy eating, and that's great. That's what I would do. What does that mean for you? Right? What does healthy eating mean for you? Does it mean eating one salad, like one raw, fresh salad a day? Right? Maybe that's new for you. Or does it mean for dinner always having a vegetable with your meal? Right? You see what I mean? Be very specific, okay? Be very specific. Your brain needs to be like, oh, we're doing this? All right, wait. Oh, she wants to eat. Okay, well, okay, spinach, there's spinach alert, kale, there's no kale on your plate. And you're like, oh. So you need to tell your brain what it is you're aiming for, and the brain will literally go to work. As a lot of the more, the kind of woo-woo, your brain wants you to program it. If you do not program your own brain, goddess, other people will program it for you. Okay, that just came to me, but it's true. If you don't have some clarity, other people will, their clarity will almost infiltrate you. It will, and that can be very dangerous. We don't want that. Okay, so I bought the one-way ticket, scared out of my mind. I'm not going to give you the exact date, but you'll see. Okay. Wish me luck. There's some, manifesting. I may have to flow. Those of you who don't know, my website is called In the Flow of Magic. I'm really feeling it this year. This is the year. And now I want to turn to you. I'm going to do some cards. But hang on. I want to tell you in terms of, the flow. I said it last video. This year, I said this, a couple days ago, last year, 2025, the energy that I'm feeling, it's like a horse. Picture a horse, like a beautiful, like horse about to run the race. And you know how they have them in the starting gate, right? And the horse is almost like hitting the gate. 2025, I'm saying it now. That's the energy. That is the energy of 2025. Did you guys hear me? It's like it wants to come out of the gate. It's going to come out of the gate really strong. I said that basically based on myself and two other people, where it was such an abrupt change for us that early in our 2025, what we were going to be doing. And I'm like, that's the energy I'm feeling. So now what I want to tell you, shift gears a little bit, is if you do tarot at all, because a lot of you have tarot cards, these are really boring. This is like an older deck of the Rider-Waite. If you want to try this method, I'm just going to talk it through. This is a way how you can find out what your tarot energy card is for the year. Okay, so any of you, if you do tarot, I'll just run through it real quick because a lot of you may not, but it's interesting. So if you have cards sitting around, you can try it. This is Mary Greer's method. So all you do is you take the month of your birth, that number, right? 2 or 3, what was it, February, was it March, what was it? Take that number and take the day of your birth and add that to the year, to 2025. Okay? That is the method. Your day of birth, your month of birth, and the year we're entering. And so I'm going to show you what I got. Now, don't make fun of my cards. They look filthy, but it's, these cards are probably 25 years old, okay? I don't even use them. They're just the major arcana. So I'm going to show you, when I added up, what I got was the number 13. And some of you may know 13 is actually the death card in tarot. It's a scary card. I'm not scared because I'm just like, trust and flow. And I'll say more about it. So that my numbers for the year card would be 13. And I believe Mary Greer would stop there with like that number. But I believe in taking it to the smallest number, which is 4. 3 and 1 is 4. And look at what 4 is, the Emperor. So then if you put these two together, it's, the death card is always an ending. So the death card could show up in a reading for a woman who is pregnant and who's going to become a mother. It doesn't mean she's going to die or the baby's going to die. It can also, honestly, but what it typically means, what it literally typically means is this is a transformation, a death to one part of who you were. So again, if it came up for a reading for a woman who maybe she doesn't even know she's pregnant yet, gets the death card is literally like your life, as just you and your partner and not being a mom. It's changing. One part of your life is ending. It's about endings and starting fresh, because you can see the symbology in this is the sun is rising there. The sun is coming up, right? And then the Emperor is very much, obviously a strong masculine energy of putting things in place, control, power, order, just structure, right? So I read those together, and those are my cards for the year. So what do you think? Try this. Those of you who have a tarot card deck, try that. I want to know what you think, if you're interested. And it's the card that governs the energy of the year. Now, everybody is talking about it being a hermit year, and I can already feel it's not a hermit year for me, meaning they just added the number of the year. They added 2025, and you get the card, you get, I think everybody's saying it's a hermit year, but it's not feeling like a hermit year to me at all. When I did this method, you guys, and I did it for my last year, I got, I wrote it somewhere because I did it a little while ago. The 2 cards I got also made sense. One of them was the Empress. Oh, I think I got the Empress and then the Hermit. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that does make sense. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, because I did the first number and the second number, and I did feel like I was taking a close inner look at my abundance, at my output, right? As a woman, the Empress is this, about fertility and prosperity and all of that. So it seemed like, looking back last year, this was accurate. So again, for me this year, these are the 2 cards, sort of the overall energies of the year. And so, yeah, comments, questions, and I'm going to put up some great comments I've got. Actually, I haven't read them yet to know they're great, but I thank you. Let's see. Okay, good. All right. I love designer handbags and shoes, so my intention is to put myself on a no-buy for 3 months because I'm putting those funds towards something bigger. Absolutely. We can fritter stuff away when that same money put to greater use. Hang on, guys. I'm going to actually turn my heat down. I have my heat so high. It's funny because I believe it's 21 degrees here. It's pretty cold where I am. But my heating vent is right below me. So we have to, sometimes sacrifice for our greater desire. So I think that's really great. She says, it's so funny that you say dive into my divine feminine. That's been a constant theme I've been feeling, hearing from spirit. Wow. Well, that's probably why you're watching. Yep. God is telling me bigger, but I'm yearning for clarity. Okay. You can't, so you have to step forward. You may have heard the phrase step forward in faith. I think, and I do this a lot, Gia, is the masculine approach is to try to figure it out. Like you're back here and you're trying to figure it out. Instead of take a little step, and then sense, how's that feel? Does that feel right? Oh no, that's slightly the wrong direction, right? Almost kind of like a GPS, like recalculate. Recalculate, I like that analogy. Okay, wait, nope, go back. So the feminine is very much about listening, Gia. So it's not so much talking to spirit, God, great spirit, your higher power. It's more listening. So yeah, beautiful love. Tell me what you got. What number? And I'll show the card just up. I'll hold it up on my beat up deck. That yeah. So tell me what you got, and I'm going to actually put them back in order because I wanted to keep them in order. So excuse me, guys, while I sort of reorder this. Put the Hermit back in where the Hermit belongs. Again, these are archetypes. Okay. Someone once wrote me. I'm like, you spent time watching my video just to like be annoyed. Couldn't you have found something better for your time? Oh, how are some cards printed in China with images from I forget they broke it into two parts, the imagery and then the gonna tell us rationally anything. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's what is called intuition. It's what probably very many wealthy people don't talk about because they don't want to be called woo-woo, but they know when to buy that stock. You know what I'm saying? So you can, crap on it all you want. It works for some people. Beautiful love. You got 11. All right, I'm going to hold the card up. Here we go. And then 2. I would say look at 11 and 2. Okay. Wow. So yeah, oh my gosh, I need to so 11 is the Justice card. So this is for beautiful love. I just want to show this is great because this card generally, some people read it as, you get what's coming to you. But if I pull it upright for someone, I would say in this case for you, it could be the summation of legal battles, but it's very much about kind of coming back to a karmic balance. And if you have been, I don't want to say good, but if you've been acting in the right way, this is a really good card because it means basically things will be in order. Things will be fair. You will get what you deserve, okay, in a positive way. And so that 11 would be also a 2 because I believe that second number is important. And so and that's interesting for knowing you, that is the High Priestess, right? The High Priestess is very much about diving into the divine feminine and listening to your intuition. And I think that's something I always believe can help us women. Okay, beautiful love. But so guys, if you're just tuning in, I'll just say it really briefly. This is Mary Greer. She's a very famous tarot writer, historian, and I believe this is her method, or people credit it to her. I'm sure she wasn't the first one. You take the number of the month of your birth. So January, February, March, what number is that? December. You take the day you were born, you add that, and then you add it to the year that you're trying to calculate, so 2025. And the number you get, where does it reflect in the deck, in the major arcana? The major arcana are life, sort of like life changing energies. And so what I'm saying is I got the 13 and then I added 13 to make 4, and I look at both of them together and it makes a lot of sense for me because literally something is ending. Like I said, end of the year, you got to go. You got to go again. You just got back. You're figuring it out, but go. Don't kind of sit around and wait. And I had some options to stay here and just like kind of slowly get things together. And Spirit's like, no, that's not the way. And then when I check, you guys, look at this beautiful card that I got. This is what I wanted to tell you. Look at how beautiful this is. Life Restored. It's from the card. It's an Egyptian Isis deck. Not all of you would like it, probably because of the imagery. Life Restored. It basically means that this is a beetle. It was I think it's actually a dung beetle, but it was revered in ancient Egypt. But I keep pulling this card, you guys, over and over from a whole deck for myself. And what it means is, and it says Priestess of the Phoenix. As you know, a phoenix is symbol of rising from the ashes. It again, that's like the death card, right? It rises again. And so if I read it to you, it says, something that has died or dried up or you thought was done comes back to life. It doesn't matter if it's been, it literally says it doesn't matter if it's been days, months, or decades. It springs back to life. And my artistic, it just sprang back to life. I'm making art. And so if you see, if there's any like what looks like stains on my hand, it's like paint or charcoal. This card was right on. And then I was worried about, well, how am I going to make this happen? I mean, how am I traveling? I don't, have a big trust fund. And I got this card. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of abundance, but also considered like Shri, anything that is beautiful. So like gold, abundance, beauty, anything that is positive or auspicious is linked with Lakshmi. And I got this card, bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. All right. I mean, I tear up when that happens because there are things I'm leaving out that I'm not telling you that also literally like preceded this. And then I pulled this card. And it's just amazing. And as I said, this card, I believe I've pulled 2 weeks in a row, if not 3. On that note, a commercial for myself. Check out my website, In the Flow of Magic. You can, my job isn't just making YouTube videos, right? Let me put so I have several things that I offer. I want to just share with you right here. If you like my videos, you would enjoy a reading. I'm going to put my website here. But, oh, you're welcome, beautiful love. Yeah, think about that. I love the High Priestess for you, and I love the Justice for you, because what I'm remembering about your life, that Justice card is going to be a positive, I think. It's definitely balance, right? And it's justice. It's like the real meaning of justice, right? What is right, what is true, like ma'at, balance. And then you've got the High Priestess to balance. I love that. I think it's beautiful. It's going to be a really beautiful year for you. There may be ups and downs, but you have to look at the whole trajectory. So I put in my website there. Oh, she says, yep. Okay, you're feeling it as well. And I also, just to clarify, there are 2 services I offer that might confuse you. One of them is a little more spiritual, where I do an energy balancing. It's like a long distance energy healing, I call it. It's not for physical illnesses. It's if you're stuck, you're having trouble at your job, you need to leave, but you can't, or you're stuck in some way, then at my website, you can book a chakra energy healing. I tested it out with a bunch of folks. They literally were like, this is where I felt you were working. And I was stunned. It correlated. Like people are like, I felt tingling here. They're like, I felt warmth, like in this particular chakra. And I got them to write their testimonial, like, tell me what you felt so I can share it. So that is the chakra energy healing. Let me put that for you. You go under one-on-one services on my website, again, just because sometimes folks can't find it. And I'm really, spirits, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. As you guys know, I used to do massage, but it was an energetic form of massage called shiatsu, which is where I get all the points that I teach in some of the videos from, right? And so I have the ability, though, at a distance to work with energy. I've had it for actually many years, but I was a little bit like, skeptical myself of doing it. But check that out if that sounds right for you. The energy, it's like to move your energy in such a way where you get more clarity. One young woman said to me, because this is how she saw it, it wasn't how I saw it. She says, while you were working, I saw the possible solutions to this problem flash in front of my eyes. honest to God. And I was like, wow, okay. So I was working energetically on her at a distance. Like I said, this is, you don't have to be in the same place with me. And she's like, I saw the problem, but I also got these like really quick flashes of different ways it could work itself out that surprised her. It wasn't like she was sitting thinking, you guys, like, oh, I could say this and then I could do that. It was like, it was just processing through her. So I do have that ability. For those of you who don't know, I've been practicing yoga for decades and meditating for decades. I don't meditate every day, but it's that trajectory over a long period of time. And it's also some past life abilities, I believe. And that's what I'm also told. Okay. Like I felt my third eye like throbbing and getting warm. And I was like, okay, because basically what I go in and do with your higher self in the chakra energy healings is I first get permission to do this work from your higher self, and then I move the energy. So I don't necessarily pinpoint unless I'm shown. One woman, I said to her when I looked in the heart energy, it was just darkness. And I did not mean like evil darkness. It just felt empty. And she said, and she had not told me this. She's like, I had a breakup, I think it was a couple months before, and she really felt devastated. Like, so spirit showed it to me as just like just darkness in the heart area. It wasn't colorful. It wasn't like there wasn't any feeling of joy. And she's like, yeah, I am still devastated because I broke up, had this breakup with someone. And it was about, I think, 3 or 4 months ago, what she told me. And I was like, wow, okay. And she's like, yeah, I am devastated. Like I'm not really back together. So that's the chakra energy healing. And then one other quick thing, other service that I offer, the coaching, because I don't think it's clear to people. Again, I combine my ability to teach mindfulness meditation with the acupressure points, which are the points they run all over your body and they link with different things, right? Like this is a lung, like right here is what's called lung one. It really affects the function and energy flow to the lungs, right? So if you're having colds or flus, and I'm going to talk about this in the next video I'm going to post, I'm going to show you a routine you can do if you feel like you're getting a cold or a flu. So look out for that. That is the very next video. I already filmed it. So if you come to me for a consult about that for the coaching, are you having insomnia? Are you having headaches? We'll talk through that and I'll give you some points you can work with, some self-massage points, and I'll also teach you mindfulness meditation so that you can get your stress. So it's basically for people. I do work with men and women, right? I'm opening it up for the coaching. This is one-on-one. So if you're not necessarily comfortable in a group, you can look into getting coaching for more a physical, emotional stress issue. That is at a different place, and I'll put that link below. That's on my Calendly calendar. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Does that come up? Private meditation and wellness coaching. Okay. If you go to private meditation and wellness coaching, it does say professional women, and there's like a little video there, but I coach men as well. All right. So those are 3 different ways you can work with me. And so anybody else want to tell me when you did the adding up your birthday and month, what card did you get? Anybody else? Your number is 25. Okay, so then I would make it 7. Yeah, so Gia, so what you did is you added the day of your birth, the month of your birth, and the year 2025, and just reduce it. So I would go to 7, right? Make it smaller, right? Because the major arcana, we've got up to 21. So with 7, I'm going to show you the card. Very interesting. So that would be the Chariot. The Chariot, Gia, is very much a card, which is funny to me. This is the stated meaning, but you notice the lions aren't moving. But it's about harnessing your will, and it's usually a sign to go ahead. So Gia, it's a sign to go ahead, go forward. It can also literally in a reading mean the person's getting a new car. So again, that's the thing with tarot. It's what are the other cards around and what is the question? So this can literally mean a vehicle, but it's very much about movement, the Chariot. And it's going forward with passion, with drive, with momentum. And it's basically the spirit is with you for this. So it's like a take action card. Okay. So your year is going to have an energy, it seems like, where you take a lot of action towards your goals, Gia. That's what, yeah. So it's funny that you got, remember I just said, if you were watching, that the whole year for me feels like it's a year that's like a horse. It has a horse like, that's what I was shown, is a horse that wants to run, wants to gallop, and it's waiting to come out of the gate. Um, so it's a very strong energy. It's a very dynamic energy I'm feeling. I don't, like I said, overall, it's the year of the hermit, but that's why I looked up this method, because I'm like, it's not going to be hermit for everybody. It's not going to be. That's just not the case. Yeah, you're welcome. Analog Girl, is your number 10 or 12? You can't get two double numbers. So is it 10 or 12? Like that would make sense. If you get a double number, then you'd reduce it. So let me know in the chat. And then I will also pull some cards for just the angel cards, which are here. It's one card, but it gives you the energy right now for something you're dealing with. And I mean, I've been right on target. It may be a word like trust. It may be a word like courage. Okay, so it is 12. Okay, you re-added it. All right. So let me show you the 12 card. Here. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Here you go. I think I must have spilled coffee on this. Look at this. So the 12 card is the Hanged Man. And that is about taking some time in the year, since we're talking about the whole year, taking some time in the year to really reflect and joyfully reflect, and learn. Sometimes it's learning, but you're going to have spiritual insights as a result. See how his head is glowing? It's a time of sort of stopping and letting insight come to you, slowing down activity. So maybe you'll take a sabbatical, Analog Girl, or a break, or a period of time where you really step back from your normal life and really look within. For me, the Hangman and the Hermit, it's interesting. They seem pretty similar to me, and that's why I also rely on what other cards I would pull around there. But you got 12, so that makes 3, so that's the Empress. So hang on here. I want to still keep them in order. Where is she? The Empress. Okay, the Empress. So I'm going to say, similar to what I had last year, this is about you looking at your, taking the time, but you're going to be looking at your productivity. It could even be your children, but it's very much about the feminine abundance principle. So Analog Girl, you're going to want to sometime in the year, or even the energy of the year, is coming to terms with this Empress energy. So again, picture an Empress. She's ample, has rulership, she has dominion, the crops are fertile. So it's going to be you examining that aspect of you by taking some time and pulling back and stopping. With the Hangman, I definitely get the stopping aspect to it. Okay, let me put her back in there, back in order. Yeah. Anybody else tried it? Added up your birthday, month and day, and then the year. And that is the energy of this year for you. So anybody else? There we go. Whoops. What's that? And I'm dyslexic, so what I didn't want to do was mess everything up, even just the counting. Okay. No, we're good. We're good. All right. Would anybody like me to pull an angel card for them? And again, this is for the first 3 months, because things change. But this is kind of like, it's not even for the first 3 months. It's kind of what you need now going into the next, I would say, the 3 months. Yeah, Analog Girl, you're welcome. You added rock. I know. I know. I'm not a math person either. Not a math person at all. So this is my flow method for 2025. Not to say later that I won't plan, but right now, Spirit is like, be open and trust. I did give an example in the video I took down, which I said I took down for kind of security reasons. It's a very specific thing that, like I said, I can't share. But something magical where I was given a hint, I acted, and then the hint was confirmed. And so some of you might have seen that. So, that is a go ahead. And I'm even getting that what I had my plan, that there's a gap I should leave because there's going to be something that comes up where I should leave a gap. So I'm trying to kind of, do I want to listen to that, or do I want to be more certain and like plan all these things? And Spirit is like, nope, try to leave that. There's a little space I want you to leave open because there's something. So it's very much like you're in the dark. This is really is the idea of faith. It's like you're in a dark place, and you just have to keep trusting and taking a step forward and a step forward. All right. So before I go, any comments, last questions? It says, you are correct about justice. I'm about talking to a lawyer. Yep. So the tarot can be metaphysical, but it can be actual. So yes, the justice card, usually when I pull it for people, they're literally involved in something legal. And I'm always surprised because I'll say it. I'm like, well, it can be balance, blah, 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 but it can also be a legal case. And then they're like, yeah, I'm in the middle of a legal case right now. It's just funny to me because I'm like, whoop, that was right. Okay, legal case. So yes, it can be metaphysical and woo-woo, but it can also, just like I said, I think to Gia before, the Chariot, it's like dynamism, go forward, take risks. And it could also be you get a new car. You get a new car and you get a new car. Okay, your birthday, month and date equal 18. Did you put the year in, glass half full? So you keep adding, but then add 2025, add those numbers in, and that's the number. Date and month. Yeah, you have to add because think about it, it's the year that changes, right? So your date and month are always the same. So then your year energy wouldn't change, but it does, which is why you're trying to calculate it. Yeah, so beautiful. So add in 2025 to your birth date and birth month, okay? I'm always looking there because I'm just reading the comment. All right, and then tell me what you get. Yep, beautiful, love, good. Good. Yeah. Okay, so you get 2043, so keep adding. So glass half full, get it down to 2 numbers and then 1 number. Because you're trying to get it, so the tarot, the final card is the world card, which is 21. So get it to 21 or below. Like keep adding till you're down to 2 digits or 1. In my case, I think I don't just take the 2-digit number, but I take the 1-digit number as a secondary. Okay? I'm going to let you do the adding and tell me because I'm still live, so I'm not going to do the adding. You do the adding and then let me know. Comments, questions about planning or not planning, listening to spirit. Enchanted Star, are you still here? Did you find this helpful? Let me put Enchanted Star back up. Yeah, you're going in the flow. I love that. Love that. Let's see who else. And Gia, if you're willing to share, I'd love to, even if you want to keep it in a general way, what the bigger manifestation is, like what area is it in? Keep adding. Okay, you got 18. Yeah, no, you're just trying to reduce the number, glass half full. So yeah, 18, because there are 21 cards. So you've got to get it to under there. So 18. That's interesting for you. And then what I would do, glass half full, so that's 18, but then you'd make 8 and 1 is 9. So your first card is the moon card, right? Now that moon card can mean stuff coming up, but I think in your case, it'll be very healing. It's often about subconscious and unknown things that are driving us coming up. Okay, so it'll be interesting for you. And then let's pull the 9 card. And then this is what I do. Hold on. I messed up your, okay, there we go. Yeah. So I want to say for you, if this is correct, you're looking at a year of some real introspection and subconscious growth. Okay. So glass half full, all you're doing is reducing the number from the month, day, year that you add. Mm-hmm. It actually doesn't matter which way you add it, it comes to the same. So, like if you're born in January, you would add 1, and then you were born in 2000, so that's 2001, right? So that's 3, and then just add that to 2025, and you just keep adding. It doesn't really matter which way you add. That I know. We're not math people, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So if 18, then that's the moon card, dealing with a lot of subconscious issues coming up for clarification. Can also be through your dreams, but parts of yourself maybe that you're not aware of, fears and so forth coming up. But I would say they're coming up for you to look at, because then when you reduce, 18, right? 8 and 1 is 9. You add them, and so 9 is the Hermit card, which is looking within. Again, some sense of isolation or quietude, to look within, to search for answers. So maybe you come to understand what fears are holding you back. Glass half full. So let me put that back, and then I see a wonderful comment coming up, and here. So yeah, this is just a tarot-based way to get some sense of, oh, this might be the energy of the year. Like I said, for me, it feels right. The death card, and hoping it's not physical death, but hey, you never know. We try to be prepared, right? It's a transition. Like I said, 90% of the time that the death card is about an ending and a new beginning, like a phase of life. So again, if somebody graduated college, I could pull that card for them. That could come up, meaning they've finished college. Now they got to go into their career, and they're like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, right? The other cards would reflect that. But that death card that's the end of that student life, the party life. That's done. Now you got to get a job, right? So I got the death card, and and the other one, oh my gosh, the Empress. I just lost what those two together make a lot of sense for me in how I know I'm even looking at the year. Yeah. Yeah, the 4 card, the Emperor, because I am looking to put structures in place. For instance, you guys know, for instance, just to give you an example, I'm looking at teaching abroad. That's that Emperor putting structures into place, getting a new job, getting work, right? It's very practical. He's an emperor. He's about things, people, organizations, systems. So yeah. Okay, a couple more folks. So yeah, glass half full. If you added it right, then the cards I showed were it. Hello, Rakita. Oh, you were driving the entire time. See? I could feel somebody was driving. I know it sounds crazy, but that's often I'll say something. I don't know why I say it, but yeah, somebody's driving and I'm like, why don't you comment? Say hello. And they're like, I was driving the car. So, Rikita, if you want to, I'm not going to do the adding up for folks because it would slow down the video so much folks would leave. Ayana says she thinks 6. Okay. Yeah, like guys, I know I'm not math. Like I tested it different ways. Doesn't really matter how you add the digits. Just keep adding the numbers till they get smaller and smaller. So yeah, it's really funny because I added mine 2 different ways, and I got 13, and I pulled the 13th card, and then 3 and 1 is 4, and then that's how I got it. So yeah, you got the Lovers card, Ayana. So now here, Ayana says, hey, I love your picture too. That's a great color. That's one of my colors. I like a little bit going in towards a little more pinkish, but I do like those warm, as you can see. They just lift my skin tone, lift my spirit. So you got the Lovers card. The Lovers, it can mean 2 things typically. Well, again, and if it's for the year, the energy, it could be, believe it or not, about choices. So it's these 2 naked people, but it's about choices. It can be about a love relationship. Typically, if I'm remembering right, it's like this kind of karmic, could be a little dramatic love relationship where there's a choice of, is this good for you? Maybe you're learning, maybe you're growing, but it can also just mean having to make choices in your life about what you want to do, how you want to be. Did I do that right? Yes, 6. See, I'm having to do the Roman numeral adding. I'm like challenged. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah. Yeah, no, beautiful love. Yours was really good. I think yours was really good. Yeah, so that's all right. 5 and 4 is 9, 10, 11, and then 38. Okay, so the final number that you'd end up with, right, keep reducing it. So 8, so then 38. I'm not sure how you got 38 from, wait. 4 and 1, wait, so 5 and 4 is 9, 10, 11. That would be 11 or 2, right? 11, and then if you add 1 and 1, you'd get 2. So I'm not sure. Are you, but then you need to keep adding. If it's 2054 plus 38, then keep adding. But if it's just 38, then it's 8, 9, 10, 11, right? 8 and 3 is 11. And so it'd be 11 and 2. So the 11th card, you're just reducing the numbers. So the 11th card is, yeah, Justice, right? And the 2 card is the High Priestess. If the numbers you're sharing are right, maybe I should put a link below to where this is explained. So yeah, so you would add 10 and 19, right? And there's that 29, right? And then you add 29, and then you add that. It doesn't matter how you add it, just combine those numbers, the month, the day, and then the year 2025. So I mean, I just literally do like an addition table, like month and then year, I mean, not year, month and day of my birth, and then the year 2025, and just add them. And you should get a really large number and then just keep reducing it down. So if you get 2056, as in my example, I added 5 and 2 is 7, right? And then what I do is I do 6, 6, 12, and 1, 13. So I get 13. So that's the 13th card, and then 3 and 1 is 4. So those 2 cards. So I'm not going to explain it again. That's kind of, I will put a link though. Let me see if there's, oh, here. Okay, this is because this is what I had sent out to my email list here. I'm just going to put this in the comments. You can take a quick look. Just explaining it. Yep. Ooh, did that go through? Was it too long? Yeah. Oh, it might not have gone through. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it broke it into 2 or 3. Yeah, this was what I'd written at the bottom to my email list. So, add the day, the month, and the year, the new year that you're trying to calculate, right? Otherwise, you'd always have the same number. So the year is not the year of your birth. It's the year of the year that you're trying to figure out. Yeah. And then that's the second part. So last year for me, it was the Hanged Man and the Empress, right? Because you can see 12. And if you reduce that to, you add 2 and 1, you get 3. And that was right for me for last year. That's why I was really jazzed about this method. Because again, the year that's over, I can look back at it. And I did feel very introverted. Like I was really learning and having growth. In fact, those of you who really watch me, you know, I made a video about the wounded child syndrome, this thing I had noticed where the child who, like I was told, I don't understand money, right? So that's the Hanged Man, where you're pausing and really reflecting and getting enlightened about something, right? Remember, he had the glow around his head. And then the Empress card is about abundance. So that's how I looked at it. Yeah. Oh, it is? Okay. So 38. So yeah. So again, there are only 21 major arcana tarot cards. So you add 8 and 3. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. And so that's your year card. That's your year card. Just like Beautiful Love. So it's a year of justice for you, Rakita. It can be literally, she literally confirms she has a legal case. This can mean on a literal level, some sort of legal you'll be, legal issues. It can be good, it can be bad. Just like that's all we would know for the year, because you know, it's just the issue of justice and of doing the right thing, of acting in the right way. And it's almost like you reap what you sow. So if you've been doing good and being righteous with people, then it's a very good year, right? You'll get your karmic return. And then it's the high priestess, because we add the 11, 1 and 1 is 2, and then you won't get the high priestess. And the high priestess is about tapping into your femininity in the sense of the hidden secrets, what's behind the curtain, what's written on the scroll. She's connected to the moon, and she doesn't necessarily share what she knows, but she's a seer. So those two qualities are for your year. Let me put, so anyway, I think it's probably a good time now to wrap up. A lot of my folks watching the replay, and yeah, it's okay. Yeah, the YouTube wasn't updating. So do come for a reading. That's on my website, In the Flow of Magic. If it's more health related, let me actually give you really quick, right? That's, and I know they might seem different, but again, the more health related one, I'm drawing from my training in meditation and mindfulness, and my work as a massage therapist, and my studies in holistic health. So here's my calendar. For the health related one, you'd book a clarity and calm call first, because I kind of want to know if I would be able to help you, right? Beautiful love, what is true? So that's my calendar. If you to do a, it's pretty easy. It's calendly.com/VivWill5, my favorite number. And that you can do a clarity call if you're interested in holistic stress coaching with me, which is more for physical, emotional stress. You're having headaches, you've gone to your doctor, but you feel out of balance. You want to learn how to deal with your stress. Use that link. If it's more spiritual and woo-woo, you want either a reading or you would like the energy healing, that's on my website, which is intheflowofmagic.com. And that is in the chat. So I think it's, yeah, if there are any last questions, I'm just going to hang on for a minute. If anybody has a question or a comment, any insights, was this helpful? Let me see if I can, yeah, was this helpful at all? Maybe just an intuitive way to approach planning. Well, I'm really saying start from the intuitive, start from what is your heart's deepest desire. Start from that, right? Yeah. Yes, that does resonate well with me, Rakita says. Let me put you up on the screen. Thank you again for all the wisdom on this live. Peace and light. Thank you. Yeah. Good. I'm glad that resonates with you. I feel like that tapping into that divine feminine through developing your intuition, that's going to be strong for you. Just looking at your photo, I feel like that is that energy of mystery, and your inner knowledge is going to be powerful for you. Yes. Good. All right. Mwah. Guys, let's see. Oh, I've been live for an hour and a half. All right. So I'm going to go because I need to get some water, some liquids into me. And again, check out the, my previous video was a kind of guided practice on self-esteem where you see yourself as a queen. All right, try it. It's fun. You feel really good. You use your imagination, right? Not AI. You use your own imagination, envisioning yourself as a queen and feeling what that feels like. So check that out on my channel. All right, much love. Bye.